For the last while, I've been tempted to go back to play 40k. And with the new releases of the Death Watch and Kill Team, I think it's about time I got stuck back in. Now, I'm not going as deep as I once did. All I have basically left is the Marines from the Dark Vengeance set, so I've dug them out. I'm going to paint up a kill team, and myself and a friend or two are going to play some kill team missions. Now, it's not going to be the box set missions, although we might incorporate them in. It's more of a mishmash of the mini wargaming rules with the Herald of Ruin rules, with the 4th edition kill team rules, and with a few house rules thrown in. An interesting thing happened the other day when I was in my local Games Workshop store. I was just in there making sure that the mini rulebook I have is the current rules, so I know what I'm doing. And one of the store persons said that we're on the cusp of 8th edition. Now, I've seen and read a few of the rumours and all that, and from what I've read and what people have told me, the 8th edition rules it's not going to be Age of Sigmar, but it's not going to be as bloated as the 7th edition rules. It's going to be somewhere in the middle ground. Now, it got me thinking about a few things. Now, I've been out of 40k for about 5 years or more, so my knowledge of 40k is pretty outdated. But from everything I've heard and people have been talking to me about, it's not a bad thing that they're going to Sigmarize 40k, so to speak, because the rulebook over the last few editions have just gotten so bloated, and there's no consistency with some of the rulings and some of the models. Like, one thing could be a gargantuan, but the other thing could be a character. One thing could be a vehicle, but the next thing could be a vehicle. You know, that kind of thing. No consistency at all, and yet all these models in question have a little person in them driving them around. So Sigmarizing them wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. Just to hit the big red button to reset everything, start fresh. But it got me thinking, because flicking through all the new expansion books and box sets, looking at all the box sets and all that, it got me thinking about if the rulebook is Sigmarized, what about the codexes then? Because if the rules are Sigmarized, would it not invalidate the codexes? And a little thought started creeping into my head that perhaps once 8th edition does drop, codexes as we know them will be no more. Now, what I mean by this is we're still going to have like bunny fingers codexes, but they're going to be more data sheets. What really kind of twigged me was when I saw the expansion Angels of Death. It was just a small supplement, but it was basically nothing but formations. And over the last couple of years, formations have become the thing. Like, unless you're starting off in 40k, there's absolutely no reason why you would use the old force organization chart. You'd much rather prefer a formation or a detachment or whatever because of the bonuses and what they give you. Now, yeah, you are constrained by what you can take in the formations and detachments and all that, but it does give you wiggle room, and some of the bonuses, like free transports, objective secured, and things like that, are absolutely too good to give up in relation to the old force organization chart. So, as I said, I've been out for a good while, but as I see it, codexes, once 8 hits, are going to be gone. Instead we're going to have like big books of formations for each army. Like, I suspect for the Imperium, we're going to get a big thick book, like Imperius Indominus or something Gothic Latiny, you know, and it's just going to contain nothing but formations. Like, if you want to play a 500-point game, take this formation. If you want to play a 1,000-point game, you can take this formation with this detachment and yada yada yada. If you want to play a 2,000-point game, oh, why don't you take this Gladius Strike Force, which gives you all this and all these extra free vehicles and rules and so on and so forth. So it also got me thinking about the old 2-player starter sets. And if it does go that way, I can actually see the starter boxes like Dark Vengeance and the 6th edition one, the 5th edition one, and that basically disappearing. And the reason why I think this is because of the new Kill Team box. Like, the Dark Vengeance box, depending on where you get it, is what, 90 to 100 euros thereabouts, depending on where you get it. Kill Team box is about 45 to 50 euro, and in that box you get a tactical squad, you get a fire team squad, you get the rules for playing Kill Team, and you also get a mini rulebook. Perfect entry point if you want to start playing 40k. Yeah, you're going to need your paints and your glues and that such, but instead of pumping all that money into it, like something like Dark Vengeance, they could pump it all into multiple Kill Team boxes. Like this one, the first one is Space Marines versus Tau. The next could be Chaos versus Orcs. Then Eldar versus Demons. And just keep expanding. Because in the new Kill Team supplement, it gives you the rules, tells you how to play Kill Team, and then at the back of it goes, if you want to play a bigger game, this is what you can add. And once you start doing that, you're breaking away from the Force Org chart that you start with, and you're going into looking at what your collection is now, and you're going, oh, well, I have enough for formation, I have enough for a detachment, and so on and so forth. So I really do think we're looking at the end of the old starter sets and the old codexes. And I think for the Games Workshop have been somewhat of a sly evil geniuses with this. Like, the Angels of Death supplements came across to me as like a teaser, a kind of test bed. Like, how would people react to this? How many people would buy this if we were to do this on a bigger scale? Would people go for it? Like, I suspect, like, if it is going this way, it's the books are going to be split up, similar to how the big rule book is split up at the moment. You'll have a book of fluff and then the rules. So once these new ones come out, you'll have the option of buying them together, the fluff and the formation book for the Imperium or the Orcs or the Chaos or whatever. Or you'll have the option of buying them separate, like the fluff of Chaos, the formations of Chaos or Space Marines or whatever faction you're playing. So what do you think? Are we headed this way? Are we not? Drop your comments below.